Hey guys, welcome to part 6 of What If Yuji Itadori Had the Rinnegan. Last time we left off after the start of the Shibuya arc and Gojo entering the Veil. With everyone caught up, let's begin. Meanwhile, Yuji is assigned to Team Mai Mai with the Grade 1 sorcerer and her younger brother, Yuji. Yuji wants to help Gojo instead of remaining on standby, and Mai Mai tells him he'll get the chance. She receives a call that takes the team off standby and they are assigned to deal with a curtain that appeared over Maijijingume station. Mai Mai tells Yuji to keep up and they run to the subway station where an assistant manager breaks down the situation. There are 2 curtains and Team Mai Mai must disable the first one before they can reach the B5F of the station. There is also a swarm of transfigured humans attacking civilians inside, forcing Yuji to realize that Mahito must be involved. Mai Mai first scouts the station by sharing her perception with the crows she sent to fly around the inside. Before sharing any information with Yuji, Mai Mai asks if he wants to fight one strong curse or a bunch of weak transfigured humans. She assumes the latter and tells him to take out the target between BF1 and BF2. While he's doing so, Mai Mai states that she'll deal with the transfigured humans. He eventually happens upon a grasshopper cursed spirit eating someone's head. Claiming to be smart, the observant cursed spirit recognizes Yuji is a sorcerer. Yuji asks if the Patchfist curse is in the station and the grasshopper reveals his name is Mahito. Recalling his sensei teaching him about how complex barriers can be, Yuji figures such a simpleton cursed spirit couldn't have generated a curtain with conditions. He notices the grasshopper curse standing in front of a peculiar-looking nail in the ground that's wrapped in talismans. The curse mentions protecting the curtain and Yuji realizes the talisman must be what's projecting the barrier. The grasshopper begins to talk about how it doesn't like the taste of transfigured humans until Yuji attacks. Yuji kicks it through a wall and demands all cursed spirits stop looking down on humans. The curse quickly gets back to its feet and asks Yuji if he knows what kind of being it is. Yuji states the obvious and the grasshopper is surprised to learn his enemy is smart too. The grasshopper curse was born from humanity's ill will against the locust plague. It has the physical capabilities of a human-sized grasshopper, but Yuji is able to keep up with its speed and power. Its incredibly strong jaw and legs tear apart the area, but it doesn't deal any damage to its opponent. The grasshopper continues to state that it's smart until Yuji reveals that clever people usually don't need to state so. Shocked, the grasshopper covers his mouth and Yuji steps upright in its face with a deeply angered expression. They engage in anti-jutsu, exchanging rapid-fire blows. While the grasshopper has 4 arms, Yuji effortlessly overwhelms the curse with his superior strength and speed. Ordinarily, this curse would be superior to a human in every way, but it's highly inferior to Yuji, who decides to end the fight. Creating a mechanical chainsaw which slices the spirit in half and then breaks the talisman to lower the curtain shortly after. Back with Gojo, everything goes the same except Gojo has an easier time as Jogo was already dead so couldn't help with the plan, and after Gojo killed Hanami and beheaded all the transfigured humans. Gojo thought it was over, however he was shocked to see his long-dead friend Gato standing behind him waving. He is then caught in the prison realm with Geto revealing he is Kenjaku who had inhabited Gato's body using his cursed technique. Suddenly a Makamaru earphone would appear on Yuji's ear, informing him of what had just transpired. Hearing this, Yuji would want to rush over to free Gojo, however he is ordered to instead inform the others about what had happened and gather people to help out. Before going to the surface to report the news, he would summon multiple Shikagemis, ordering them to go to Shibuya and distract the cursed spirits, and sent the chameleon to collect information and hide. Team Nanami finds Yuji on the roof and Megumi gets him to stop yelling. Makamaru confirms the exact details of the situation to them and proposes that the teams of sorcerers attack the Gojo's location from the adjacent subway stations. This would require them to take down the curtain preventing barring sorcerers first. Nanami tells the trio to take down the curtain while he meets up with Ijichi to handle some logistical stuff only grade 1 sorcerers can handle. Before leaving, Nanami tells Ino that he's leaving Yuji and Megumi in his care. Moved that Nanami has put his faith in him, Ino emphatically explains what will happen if Gojo isn't freed. Jutsu sorcerers will squabble over the fall of the Gojo clan and then the forces of evil will take advantage. If this happens, even Yuji and Megumi know that the age of humans will end in Japan. Confident that the boys understand the stakes, Ino slaps them on the back and says it's time to move out. He swears that they'll take down the curtain before Nanami gets back and confidently adds that they'll rescue Satoru Gojo no matter what. Yuji then explains that the enemies are probably using receivers to create the veil, so for the veil to be as strong as possible, they would most likely be located in the most obvious position. While all looking up to the tallest tower, Megumi suggests that he just uses an almighty push to demolish the building and the receiver. However, Yuji explains that he doesn't want to cause any unnecessary damage as these are people's houses and workplaces. They then use Megumi's Shikigami summon to fly up to the top. Then Yuji used an almighty push to send one of the opponents flying off the building, plummeting to the ground. Telling Megumi and Ino to deal with the other two while he deals with the pancake, flying off the building. Upon reaching the bottom, Yuji saw the strange guy laying on the ground pathetically pretending to be dead, however Yuji saw straight through it. Telling the cursed user Gyro Awazekar to get up since he hasn't even started fighting him yet. Getting up, Awazekar would complain about how energetic the youth was nowadays, then charging at Yuji with his Tanto-style knife, however Yuji would dodge out the way. Saying that was close, however he is going to have to do more than that if he wishes to hurt him, punching the cursed user in the face, however it only blew him back and didn't do any damage. Surprised, Yuji states that it must be the effect of the cursed technique which he can see is active, asking what it does, however the old man does not answer. Smiling, Yuji states that not telling him just makes it more fun as he gets to play around for a bit, then remembering that Gojo is sealed and he has to rush, so becomes serious. Using a universal pull on the man, grabbing him by the face, draining his cursed energy. Feeling his cursed energy get drained, the old man attempts to stab Yuji once again, however Yuji whacks his blade away with his free hand like it was child's play. Starting to feel drowsy, Awazekar attempts to punch and kick Yuji, however Yuji slams him to the floor with his cursed energy reserve now empty, stabbing a cursed rod through his arms and legs, preventing him from moving. With Gyro Awazekar defeated, Yuji breaks the two commissioned curtains he was holding, deactivating the curtain preventing sorcerers from entering Shibuya Station. Back on top of Shibuya Tower, the grandson stands in between the sorcerer and Ogami. The old woman continues her incantation while Ino repeatedly wins the close combat exchanges with her grandson using Riki's abilities. He's no match for a sorcerer, giving Ino a bad feeling about the situation. The Jutsu High Sorcerer realizes too late and Ogami's cursed energy suddenly surges. Her conditions have been met and her grandson swallows some kind of pill. Ino summons Kaichi again, but the grandson's body is fast enough to catch the horn with his bare hands. Ogami revives Toji Zenin using her grandson's body, shocking Ino. As his face shifts to that of Toji's, the grandson claims this is the best. Confused, Takuma Ino looks across the roof of Shibuya Tower at Ogami and her grandson, who has shapeshifted into Toji Fushiguro. Ino figures out the old woman is a necromancer and he can tell with just one look that Toji is ridiculously strong. The Jutsu sorcerer attempts to summon auspicious beast, Ryu, but Toji rips off his mask before Ino even knows what's happening. Ino recognizes his opponent has incredible speed and attempts to turn around, but Toji lands a powerful right hook right to the sorcerer's jaw. He follows up by grabbing Ino's collar and pummeling his face with a flurry of unforgiving rapid-fire punches. Suddenly, Ino and Megumi are thrown from the top of Shibuya Tower. Yuji notices in time to use Universal Pool to rescue them from falling to their deaths. Yuji catches Ino and is horrified by the shape he's in. In Toji Fushiguro's form, Ogami's grandson comments that the curtain is down and asks what they should do now. Ogami asks him to go down and keep killing sorcerers, but Toji's personality fully surfaces. He takes over the grandson's body and tells the old hag not to give him orders. Worried, Ogami jumps back and doesn't understand how this happened. She only meant to summon the body's information and not the soul with her Shaunt's technique to prevent this worst-case scenario. Toji doesn't know what's happening either, but he figures his heavenly restricted body overtook the host's soul. Ogami doesn't believe this to be possible and Toji decides to follow her orders, starting by killing the old sorcerer first. Yuji wants to go back up to the tower and avenge Ino. But Megumi reveals he's not dead and asks Yuji to focus on rescuing Gojo-sensei. While Yuji heads to the station, Megumi agrees to take care of Ino. They part ways and Megumi reminds Yuji that he'll kill him if he dies. At the entrance to Shibuya Station, Yuji runs inside and wonders if he's going the right way since no one is around. He immediately runs into Choso, who recognizes Yuji as his brother's killers. He activates blood manipulation, convergence, an extension technique that compresses blood outside the user's body into a single point. Then Choso uses the secret technique of blood manipulation, shooting the blood through a single point at the speed of sound, piercing blood. Piercing blood fires a condensed, cursed energy-reinforced arrow extremely fast at Yuji. He's able to block but the attack, however, it is so fast and sharp it completely severed Yuji's mechanical second left arm, that he had created to block it. Closing the distance, Yuji hits him with Divergent Fist. Choso blocks the hit and is confused by the double impact. With a break in the action, Choso decides to ask Yuji if his younger brothers left him with any final words. But Yuji doesn't know who he's talking about. Choso clarifies that he means the two people Yuji killed and the student laments about what happened with a sad expression on his face. He says they didn't really have last words but they did cry before they died. Choso is initially shocked and then quickly overcome with rage, causing the line of blood going horizontally across his nose to bubble and distort in shape. Choso asks Iso and Kekitsu to watch over him as blood behind him forms an intimidating face shaped by his malice. He tells his younger brothers to take a good look at their older brother while Yuji stands ready to fight. In the heat of battle against Yuji, Choso uses blood manipulation to control the blood outside his body and condenses it using convergence. The blood beam piercing blood is too fast even for Yuji. With his chances of avoiding it only being 50%, Yuji decides to dictate the timing of his opponent's attack by jumping off the ground. This successfully baits Choso, who willingly fires piercing blood again at Yuji's head just before he hits the ground. However, Yuji drops his upper body weight all the way down close to the ground at the very moment his feet touch it, avoiding the blood beam with blinding speed. Yuji immediately rushes toward Choso and attempts to close the distance between them. Choso commends Yuji and bends the beam down to try and hit him. Piercing blood isn't as fast after the initial shot, so Yuji is able to dodge it and engages Choso at close range. He wants to turn the exchange into a fist fight but there are floating balls of condensed blood still floating around Yuji. Choso activates Supernova, detonating all of the condensed blood in every direction like a buckshot, which would have severely injured Yuji's back, if it wasn't for Rinnegan Reflect. Absorbing the attack, and reflecting it back at Choso, who barely managed to block the attack, however not without damage. The death painting follows up by using Blood Edge to attempt to stab Yuji's foot with a dagger made of blood, however he is sent flying by an almighty push, slamming him into a wall. Yuji uses his athletic ability to flip around Choso's guard and land a heavy axe kick. Yuji realizes there aren't any more orbs for the blood beam and focuses on stopping him from making more. He's caught off guard when Choso assumes the stance for shooting piercing blood. Yuji stops running toward his opponent, falling for Choso's feint. Choso takes the offensive, casting flowing red scale on himself and delivering several successive blows to Yuji. However, Yuji was able to perceive and counter them all with his enhanced perception from his Rinnegan. Choso uses convergence and piercing blood again to try and finish him off. However, Yuji survives and Choso admits he rushed it. The blood wasn't condensed enough and also couldn't withstand an almighty push. The two combatants then engage in close combat with Yuji having the upper hand and not letting Choso break away to use his more powerful long-ranged techniques. Understanding this, Choso used his enhanced strength to flick a small blood meteorite hidden within hand straight towards Yuji's liver, however Yuji sees it just in time. Pivoting on his feet, barely dodging it, with it tearing through his clothes. While Choso was shocked by Yuji dodging, Yuji uses Universal Pull to unbalance Choso, then punching him in the face, slamming him into the ceiling. Yuji then pulls out Choso's soul, however feels something familiar in his soul, so subconsciously resists pulling it out. Instead stabbing him with a cursed rod and summoning the spider Shikigami to ensnare and protect him. While Yuji is shocked by the memory he had just seen in Choso's soul, Mimiko and Hanako attempt to feed Yuji one of Sukuna's fingers, however Yuji snaps out of it and multiple Shikagamis which take the two girls down and retrieve the 11 fingers, allowing Yuji to seal them. Editor's note: in canon Jogo usually arrives and feeds Yuji 10 fingers after the girls fed him one while he was unconscious to wake up Sukuna. However, Jogo is dead in this, so the girls feed him all 11. With that note out the way, back to the what if. Yuji is then suddenly attacked by the reanimated Toji, Mahito, Manami Suda, Toshi Izanagi and Kenjaku, simultaneously, and uses an almighty push just in time to create some distance, allowing him to plan his attack. Okay guys, this is where I am going to end this part as I fear it will get too long if I continue it any further. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment below any video suggestions, and subscribe with the notification bell enabled. Without further ado, this is Demonic Saiyan saying bye.